Hi there, YouTube. I could go a lot into details about this particular point. I know a good chunk of people already pointed it out, but I just want to kind of illustrate it as well and back it up. But there are a number of factors depending on your choices. Honestly, this is boiling down to your opinions, your decisions. It depends on the various variables, factors that you want to consider when it comes to you considering this. But ultimately, the entire point of this video is, especially for Summoners War Chronicles, yes, main flat stat runes are not that bad. You might want to hold on to them. Maybe. Now, I already have a bunch of other videos kind of like going into a bunch of breakdowns, ideas, concept, mechanics, functions, features about runes and all that. You'll see them in due time. Most likely I might mention some stuff that might pop up in the upper right or in the description. I did make an hour-long video talking about runes for Chronicles. Some of it's very similar to Sky Arena. But yeah, the thing is, something to note when it comes to Chronicles, and specifically for Chronicles, main flat stats may not be bad. Now, granted that, once again, there's a number of variables to consider. The thing that I'll just use as an example and leave it at that will be this rune that I have, or a couple of runes. So if I pull up the foresight stuff that I got, there's this piece here. Pay attention to Chloe's HP. Now, I will have a separate video that goes into calculations and how some of this stuff works and how to actually figure out what some of these things are. Because I try to figure out why I had this 4,512 plus over here in parentheses when Chloe's pretty much naked. It could have been from Awakening. It could have been from her being leveled up and all that, but that doesn't explain some of the other creatures. So I have a separate video going into it. But for now, the thing is, here, pay attention to Chloe's HP. Like right now, it's 20,795. This is a main flat stat rune, 6,299. Now, it's in placement 2, which I will have a video. I already mentioned it in my 1 hour video, but I will have a shorter video just explaining the rune placement in 246. Note that 246, there's a chance for it to be a percent. Now, what I'm going to do is equip this rune piece. It is 2,900. Now, let me take this off and then equip it again. Original number is roughly around like 20,800. Or 20,795 if you want to be exact. But if I equip this, note that this piece also has a substat HP rune. It did get rolled into once, but it's 11.7%. You can see that this is 29,000 HP. Now, if I equip this piece, no, not that one, this one. This one has a few items that can boost the HP percent. You can also see this is at plus 15. You can also see that it's maxed out at 40.2%. And usually, once again, percent number stuff should be higher, but if I equip this piece, you'll see that this does not equal to, or it does not go beyond 29,000. It's actually 28,465. Now, the power, ignore that. You'll see it go up and down. The power is more in reference to attack-related stuff, and anything that's not attack-related, especially in terms of main or substats, it's not going to get calculated as heavily. So, but in reference to HP, since that's what we're focused on in terms of this stat, and showing the difference between percent and main, this main flat stat rune gives a lot more HP. So, once again, when it comes to the entire point of this video, and to back up some of the stuff people have been saying, main flat stats might be okay. Now, that's the word, might. I do have another example. So, this piece is 29,000. Now, if I equip this piece that has a bunch of percents on it, and it also has items that can boost it, you can see that it's 28,465 with this rune piece. Now, if I swap to a rune piece that is a flat, but does not have as much in its HP percent, you can see that it's 28,039. There's a 400 difference, roughly around. And as you can also notice from these 3 different numbers, it's not a big glaring difference between them. Well, you might be saying, Marv, there's a difference. There's like a 400 or X amount difference right there. Like, factually, yes, you are right. But ultimately, once again, this kind of shows that it's not bad to kind of go for or keep some of these runes. Especially if you notice these changes in differences, numbers, and if you calculate stuff, etc., etc. And if you do go for these flat main stat runes, I would say go for the highest rarity. Rarity is in reference to the stars. And I did talk about this in a separate video, talking about like why you wouldn't want to try to go crazy with something that's like a low grade and all that. This isn't a this isn't a good example. I have a different video and an example for that. But pretty much, it's not that big. Now, I'm going to swap to Sky Arena. And I'm going to show you how big of a difference it is with the HP and percents over there. So, I will also have a separate video talking about how to calculate this stuff as well if you're not good at math and how to break it down. But pretty much, when it comes to the stuff over here, it has a good chunk of similarities. And the big thing is this is flat. And this has an 8% stat. Now, just pay attention to the number in parentheses. I'm going to put this on, and you will see that this is supposed to get 2,448, and then there's an 8% HP substat. So if I put this on, you will see that 8%, well, I don't know what the 8% is technically. Once again, separate video that goes into calculations. You'll see this example again in that video. But you can see that it's 3,384. If I take this off, and then I decide to equip a rune piece, that is 63%. That's roughly around 8,000. That is a huge number. Like, it's difference. Like, the 8,000 versus that of whatever it was. Like, maybe 3,500, maybe almost 4,000. I don't remember what it was. But this is a huge number compared to that of the, what Chronicles over here. With the foresights that I was using. Now, granted that this might change, especially once you get into the 6-star rarity. And the base main stat may not be that big. Actually, no, it's big over here. I just, looking at this, that piece that I showed in Sky Arena was just like a 6-star rune piece, and that was like 2,000, and this is at 6,000, so there's a difference in the numbers over here, too. It's like, yeah, the giant difference, but anyways, that's the thing, though, like, some of these main flat stats you may want to hold on to, especially if they have some substats that can boost it and go beyond that of even the what is it, the percent number over here. This is like 40.2%, and even if this was a different color, if it's the same rarity, it'd still be stuck at 40.2%. But yeah, that's just something to be conscious of. So once again, to just stress this out, runes on Chronicles might be good, especially with the flat stat, if it hits the certain variables. Now, even if there is slight differences, it's not that bad compared to that of Sky Arena, where it's like there's a glaring difference, or any other game that there might be a difference in terms of the numbers. But for Chronicles, it's not bad. But granted that you get the highest rarity stuff and you do enhance it, and then you have the various other things you want along with it. Yes, getting the main flat stat is nice, but does it also have good substats? The reason why I don't have this on Chloe is because I kind of want some other things. I do not want flat stats as a substat. I wish I could change that, but no, I cannot. The accuracy is fine. Attack speed, questionable on Chloe. The HP percent is good. This is why I'm using this piece over here, because it has... I'm not trying to aim for the precision. It was more on the evasion. Accuracy is kind of good, but the biggest thing was getting the HP percent as well. So, once again, this kind of boils down to how you decide things and what you gotta be strict on, and like if you plan to use it and whatnot. Now, if this is the only thing you can use, then you might as well use it, because once again, showing this sort of example and breakdown, Flat stats may not be that bad. But anyways, that is it for this video. That is it for this video. If you have any question, comment, concerns, you want to add on to some stuff, you can put it down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.